Texas A&M, 6.5-point favorites against Arkansas in Jerry World. I've been in this stadium a couple of times. It is unlike any other sporting stadium I've ever been in. I mean, I've been in Staples Center, been in the Rose Bowl. I'm not saying that Jerry World is better. I'm just saying it's unlike anything else, and this will be the stage for this one, the Southwest Classic, 12 Eastern, SEC Network. For A&M now, there's already been some volume around Jimbo Fisher and what he's been after that Miami game. There was a fair amount of chatter. We talked about that game against Auburn, that the stakes were enormously high last week. If they had dropped that game, there would have been some unhappy campers in College Station. Even so, they got it done. A loss, I think, in this spot, in the same way, would still be brutal because you won this game a season ago. You won this game last year. If you were to lose this game in the same spot against an Arkansas team that I don't think is as good as they were last year, I mean, just think about the optics of that. It would feel like a step backwards. Whether it is or not, regardless of how this game plays out, regardless of who you have playing quarterback, it would feel like a step backwards, and you can't have steps backwards with where Jimbo Fisher is right now as the head coach at A&M and how well they've recruited. So, going back to the quarterback position, Connor Weigman got dinged up against Auburn. For the sake of this conversation, I'm going to err on the side that it's going to be Max Johnson. Jimbo Fisher said Connor Weigman's day-to-day. Connor Weigman could very well play in this game, but again, for the sake of this prediction, I'm going to go ahead and say it's Max Johnson. So we're going to proceed forward with that. For Arkansas, this could revitalize their season. They've been close but no cigar the last two tries. They had LSU on the ropes, lost by a field goal, lost to BYU. Even though the offense has scored 31 in both those spots, the defense has had some issues. Now we got to figure it out if we're Arkansas. But a win like this, in a spot like this, against a team that you lost to last year, this would kind of revitalize the Sam Pittman momentum and get them back on track. So a big spot for Arkansas. Question in this game: Texas A&M's weapons against the Arkansas secondary. We've talked so much about who A&M has at the wide receiver position. Evan Stewart made a big-time touchdown catch against Auburn last week. There is no shortage of guys to throw the football to. And I think that's going to be an enormous asset for Max Johnson should he end up being the guy. Again, we're operating under that pretense. Arkansas has shown they have issues defending the pass. They picked off Jaden Daniels one time last week, but even so, Jaden Daniels was a guy that we were talking about going into the season of man, can he push the ball vertical? Are they able to do that? And he went nuts last week against this Arkansas defense. So there's going to be plays to be made is what I want to make sure we say. Is that the difference maker for A&M? I think it very well could be. Now, the thing for Arkansas, I don't think that you need to just win that matchup straight up in the back end. I don't think it's realistic to say Arkansas secondary versus A&M's wide receivers. Arkansas, can you win that matchup? I don't think that's how you go about it if you're Arkansas. I think for Arkansas, you need to find a way to change that matchup. And the way that you change that matchup is you get to the quarterback. Arkansas now, very quietly, the best sack rate in the country at 14%. That means that 14% of the time, Arkansas is getting to the quarterback. That is ridiculous. Again, that's best in the country. So what that changes is if you're in the secondary for Arkansas, we don't need to be playing phenomenal for 4 seconds. The hope is we're back there for 2.5 seconds trying to hold it down versus our man or whatever zone we're in. And by that point in time, our front seven, our rush has gotten to Max Johnson or Connor Weigman and made him uncomfortable and forced him to throw off platform or forced him to make a bad decision, whatever it ends up being, but that would be the equalizer for you. So the responsibility then falls on that Texas A&M offensive line. Can we hold it down for Max Johnson in this spot and allow him to get comfortable and deliver the football to our playmakers? Because I think the A&M playmakers are going to win that matchup. I feel pretty confident saying that based on what Arkansas has shown. Do they have the time to get rid of the football, and do they have the time to deliver it to those playmakers and give them time to win? That's going to be crucial. Other part of this, how does Texas A&M handle the run game with KJ Jefferson? We talk about mobile quarterbacks on here a lot. KJ Jefferson is a different kind of mobile quarterback. That is a big human being coming downhill at you. I don't think he's looking to slide all that often. He's running with his shoulder pads, and he uses every square inch of those shoulder pads when you try and tackle him. So the quarterback run game, at worst, is a game plan breaker. The thing about a mobile quarterback, you may have the exact right coverage drawn up, exact right blitz drawn up. But if the mobile quarterback is able to just break contain or maybe makes you miss on that blitz or whatever it ends up being, if he tucks it and runs, new play. Or he gets out of the pocket, looks downfield, new play. How does A&M deal with that? KJ Jefferson last year ran for over 100 yards in this game. So DJ Durkin and company, they got to figure it out now. At best, for A&M, it's just annoying to scheme for. It's annoying to have to take another period during your practice away from something else you could be doing defensively, and you got to focus on, here's how we fit quarterback power. Here's how we fit the zone read. Here's how we're going to fit it when he breaks out of contain, and we got to make sure we plaster to wide receivers. Just another thing to work on, another thing you got to focus on if you're A&M defensively, and it could be a very big asset for Arkansas, because I don't know that they have the playmakers they had a season ago. In fact, I do know they don't have the playmakers they had a season ago if you're Arkansas. But for KJ Jefferson, if he gets rolling a little bit now, does a couple of things. Controls the game more for Arkansas. They're able to kind of play a little bit more, game control. They control the tempo of the game, and they kind of take their out of the football a little bit more and extend some drives with KJ Jefferson, whether it's a quarterback design run or whether he tucks it and runs and picks up a 3rd and 7 with his legs. Also, more of the passing game is going to open up just by nature of the discipline you have to have defensively. Either you have to commit more guys to try and stop KJ Jefferson in the run game because you're short a man, because in the quarterback run game, design quarterback run game, you have 10 guys blocking for 1. And if it's a running back run, it's typically 9 guys blocking for 1. So in that way, you're short a number is what I'm trying to tell you if you're A&M defensively in design quarterback runs. So you can kind of mess with that safety, and you can maybe have some more things open up in the run game if you do get going. Also, you got to be disciplined if he breaks contain. Like, we can't have a situation where exactly what LSU had. You had guys losing track of receivers when KJ Jefferson rolls out on a broken play, and wouldn't you know it, big touchdown pass for Arkansas that reignites their chances in that football game against LSU. Can't be the situation for A&M. Got to be disciplined. When he breaks contain, we got to plaster to wide receivers. We got to make sure the guy that's spying KJ Jefferson is doing just that and staying disciplined. We can't have a big discombobulation fest if we're A&M's defense, all right? So that's crucial. Maybe the most important thing, though, if KJ Jefferson gets rolling with his legs against A&M, you know what that does from a confidence standpoint for KJ Jefferson? You know how much you just start to feel like, okay, hey, they can't stop me in the run game. You kind of feel like that if you're a good shooter in basketball, that basket starts to look a little bit wider. Feel like you have a little bit more margin for error. Maybe you start uncorking a few more down the field. And a guy to watch for if they do get rolling in the quarterback run game, Andrew Armstrong. Big body wide receiver. Played well against LSU. Had a touchdown catch called back, actually, against LSU. He is a one-on-one mismatch. If there's no safety help, because you got to fill for KJ Jefferson, there's going to be good things happening for Arkansas in the pass game, and likely because Andrew Armstrong is making plays. We've seen this A&M secondary have issues against Miami. Got to be locked down on the back end and got to be disciplined in the quarterback run game. So for A&M now, going back to their side of the football, I think it's going to be really important what they do early in the run game. And when I say that, again, this is the assumption that Max Johnson's probably playing quarterback, but also going back to the point that Bobby Petrino, everything he does is a game with the safeties. This power spread scheme. They're going to do a lot of pulling guard. They're going to make it look like it's power run pretty frequently, even when it's not. But early in the game, expect them to try and get downhill and establish the run against Arkansas. How does Arkansas play that? Just like what we said against KJ Jefferson in their run game. What do the safeties have to do? Do the safeties have to start triggering quickly on the run? Do they have to go help out against that power run scheme? Because if they do, and that starts to become a routine thing for them in the 3rd and 4th quarter, don't be surprised if we see A&M, little play action, Evan Stewart down the field, touchdown A&M, good things are happening for the Aggies. That would not be a world you want to live in. Now, Arkansas, defensively, only allowing 3 yards a carry. So if they can hold up that run game and they can kind of have some run stoppage early, as we like to say, well, then you put the game back on the quarterback and you're able to have a little more attention in the secondary. Because we talked about the secondary having issues, but if you're able to have obvious passing downs, well, okay, we give ourselves a better chance to be successful in that situation. We're not having to be off balance and worry about, do our safeties need to fill? Do they need to play back? Like, our safeties can be a little bit more conservative and be a little bit more comfortable putting their heels right around 9-10 yards, expecting pass, and playing their assignment. You just have to worry about less things if you feel like your front seven is taking care of the run game. So when it comes down to the result in this game, our pick in this game, man, I think Max Johnson, again, I'm assuming he's going to be the guy. With Connor Weigman day-to-day, I'm assuming he's the guy for this prediction. If he's not, it is what it is. But I think whoever plays quarterback in this game for A&M plays well. I think that A&M is going to be able to score points against this Arkansas defense. I mean, we've seen that to this point, their last couple of games for Arkansas. I love KJ Jefferson. I'm concerned about the help he has with the playmakers. I love Andrew Armstrong, but I'm concerned about what they have on the outside to be able to separate consistently to allow them to keep pace with Arkansas, or allow them to keep pace with A&M. Last 2 games for Arkansas, the offense has scored 31. They're 0-2. Got to find a way to do something defensively. At the end of the day, I think A&M has too much firepower, and I think that Arkansas doesn't have enough answers, and I think that A&M wins this game. I think it's close. I think Arkansas covers, but I think the final score is Texas A&M 38, Arkansas 34. For Jimbo Fisher now, a little bit more of an exhale, too, for the people in College Station. Okay, good. Another test passed. Let's keep on rolling. You're not out of the woods yet, I don't think, but I do think you feel a lot more confident about the trajectory of this A&M football team, especially if there's no Connor Weigman. If you were to win a game without your starting quarterback, Max Johnson won this game for you a season ago, it would feel like, okay, we kind of are getting our footing now. Now let's go make some noise in the SEC. So that'll be a great one. Again, that's 12 Eastern on the SEC Network, and that'll be a good game to watch, man. I'm fired up for that.
Hey, JD.
Yes, sir.
So I can confirm that Connor Weigman will not only miss Saturday, but he's out for the rest of the year.
No.
Foot injury. We tweeted that on our main on 3 Twitter.
Jeez,
yeah,
man.
So he's done.
How about it?
Yeah.
How about it?
Max Johnson season, man.
Golly.
In fact, Max Johnson is trending 4 in the country right now on Twitter. So
No kidding. Okay, well let's keep this clip then in our game predictions so we can make sure the good people know. Good thing we assume Max Johnson's playing quarterback for this game.
yeah, I know. I'm glad the whole time I was like,
All
JD,
right.
you're right. You should assume that.
All right. Oh, hey, the Max Johnson era has, I guess, began in College Station.
It resumes.
And it resumes. That's a great way to say it. It resumes in College Station, and he will be your guy for you this coming Saturday against Arkansas.
Yep.
Here we go. Man, that is crazy to go from day to day to he's out for the year.
Yeah.
Golly.
It doesn't happen often.
Heartbreaking stuff for him. Hope he heals up and gets well soon. Absolutely crushing for Texas A&M, man. That is tough. There were such high expectations for him going into the year. Golly, you hate that for him. Absolutely hate that for him. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.